So, welcome to the day two of India versus Australia's day and night test match. As you all know, India were 233 for 6. And if we have the boat, the best of all times, Ashwin, and someone called Saha right now batting together. And of course, the debate has been, is 233 good enough? Well, that will be seen later on, but that's a long way to go in this particular tournament. And welcome to episode 301 live on Friday morning. Is that an edge? Yes, the boat has got an edge, and India are now 233 for 7 and in a danger of being bowled out in the first 15-20 minutes. It was a good delivery by Cummins, takes the edge, better bounce straight to the keeper, and in the first 3 balls, Australia pick up a wicket, and that was the danger. Ashwin goes for a well played 15, it's 7 for 233. 89.4 overs, 7 for 233 as Cummins bowls to one of his fast bowling counterparts, misses the bat and straight to the keeper. And now, how many runs can India get? And this is where someone like Rishabh Pant would have been precious in this situation as Cummins bowls the fifth ball and Umesh Yadav defends 89.5 overs, 7 for 233. And this is where someone like Rishabh Pant would have been precious as he would have attacked the bowlers. That's something you don't expect from either Umesh or Saha. And that's what's going to bite them in the end if they lose the last 3 wickets for the next 10 to 12 runs. Will 240 be good? That will be seen how our bowlers bowl to their batters. That's going to be a good battle. But let's see how long can these two work things out. But this was expected, and this is where we are going to miss Rishabh Pant as Umesh Yadav gets ready. This time he defends, and they run a single, ends the over 7 for 234. As we get ready, now it's Stark who will have some fun with the bowlers. And once again, I reiterate, this is where we will miss a certain punt. And this is where the mistakes lie, the big mistakes of having someone like Saha. Now, can Saha attack? Can he go after the bowlers? Can he get to that 270 kind of score? That will be something that remains to be seen. But Mitchell Stark, Yorkers against number 9, 10, 11. Well, that's going to be a tough task. So all the onus is on Saha. And I think Saha, if he scores 20, 30 runs extra, I'll say yes, he's doing his job. But if he gets out and if he's not able to contribute, then I would say that's end of this guy. And as far as the keeping goes, well, keeping is purely luck. But let's see what happens because Australia's opening batters are also not your great batters. Let's see. As Stark with his in swinging Yorkers, bowls, and Yadav defense. But then this is the irony of this situation. But as Stark gets ready to bowl the second ball, that's nicely played by Umesh Yadav, smartly played, giving the strike to Saha. And I hope Saha doesn't just do some defending. He says my opportunity. I'm going to go after the bowlers. Well, if he gets out, he gets out. But in the next, let's say, 4 2 to 3 overs, he is still on 9 out 25. Then I advocate for punts inclusion in the next 100 matches. But let's see what happens. Can't predict. Is at an edge, yes. Saha departs. Poor shot. He was, of course, trying a big shot, but this was on the cards. He was never looked in good touch, and Saha departs, and that's perhaps they can even declare right now. The situation is such that they can say, let's declare a wide delivery, going for the shot, a bit of swing for the fast bowler, and both the opening bowlers have got wickets. Saha departs for a poor 9, it's 8 for 235. Any chance? So, what can happen as episode 301 goes live as Bumrah joins Umesh Yadav? They may as well just declare right now as Stark bowls to Bumrah, who defends in his own unique manner. So they have lost both their batters. And he came across the right hander, a bit of swing. Believe me, this was if this was Pant playing the shot, they would have gone after him for his life. But then it's Saha. They all have some kind of praise for this guy, which baffles me. As we get ready for the final ball of this over, court bouncer ends the over 8 for 235. As we get ready for the third over of the day, and Cummins and Stark doing what Cummins and Stark do, wreaking havoc over the batters as Umesh Yadav hits a shot, and that's a six in his own unique style. Something for the and that's a four. Something for people to cheer about. This should have been done by Saha, not by number 10. And this is once again where we will miss a certain Rishabh Pant who will be smiling internally that you miss me in these situations. Pitched up and Umesh Yadav, well, he does this often, smashes the ball over the fielder's head in that vacant region because it's a 5 day match. Once again, tries an ugly hoik and misses completely. As it's 9:45. 8 for 239 in 91.4 overs with Australia in complete control of this situation. Though it's a good score, that we'll know once the other team comes out to bat. But in my context, they should declare. Let's see what happens. With the boat and Saha gone, it's up to the number 9, 10, 11 to do the job. Once again, tries the same shot, misses completely. So maybe he's been sent with instructions to go after the bowling. That will be a very unique situation. Trying an almighty blind swing. The final ball of the over. And that's nicely played. Yorker dugout and and ends the over. It's 8 for 240. as we get ready for another over. Stark continues 92 overs, 8 for 240. One would say Australia in control because it's not enough runs. We have seen 600 runs being scored in these kinds of situations. But as Australia bowls to Umesh Yadav, who digs the Yorker out straight to the fielder. Now expect moments of complete silence as they will just keep. I think they should declare in my view. As Stark bowls to Umesh Yadav, who once again goes for the big shot, and this was always happening, and this will be taken by Matthew Wade. Another wicket falls, and is it time for India to declare? 'Cause these are the kinds of shots that should have been tried by Pant, and this is where we're going to miss Rishabh Pant. And a good catch taken running all the way. The second wicket keeper, Matthew Wade, one of the openers will be thinking, well, I'll also have to face some good bowling. So another one goes, it's 9 for 240. Ugly shot from number 10, but what do you expect from number 9, number 10, number 11? They will do that. So the advantage is of the bowlers. Any team could have had this advantage as Shami comes in, Bumrah defends, and he beats him completely. In this situation, even an Ishant Sharma would have been useful, but he's not there. Pant has not been selected, so yeah, poor selection as far as the selection of Saha goes. But then even Australia don't have that kind of great batting, except for two guys. The number 5, 6, 7 is equally vulnerable, as well as the number 1 and 2. They're not exactly in the most confident of guys. And Australia never had confident openers except one or two came in between. Maybe Warner up to some extent, Hayden, but nobody else comes to mind for me. And this match could be over in 3 days by tomorrow. But let's see what happens. As Stark bowls to Bumrah, who plays it away, and will that be a boundary? That's a boundary from Jasprit Bumrah. It's NZ over, it's 9 for 244. So 9 for 244. Well, they're near that 250, but will 250 be good enough? Yes, I think it will be good enough. We have the boat, then we have three very good fast bowlers, and just like Australia, we have 4 and 3/4 bowlers, four bowlers plus Hanuma Vihari. And I think India's innings has been put to an end as Shami gets a good bouncer and a catch straight to square leg taken by Travis Head, and that's goodbye. So 4 wickets lost for 11 runs, courtesy Cummins and Stark with 2 wickets each. Shami goes for a duck and 244 all out. Let's see what happens because this is exactly a deja vu of what happened 4 years ago. And of course, number 7 to number 11 did not contribute, and except for number 3, number 4, number 5, nobody else got the ball rolling. So it's going to be very interesting as to how the Australian bowlers respond in this situation. We'll be back after a short break. So India bowled out for 244, which means that the advantage Australia is on Australia because then they can take advantage of this. But it depends how their openers go. Do they have good opening batters? Well, they have decent opening batters, but nothing better than Shaw and Mayank Agarwal. I think the better batting lineup would have been to include Jadeja in this situation. open with Hanma Vihari could have been great. If Australia can go with a temporary opening batter because of the absence of two of their main batters who are injured at this point, they could have easily gone with Hanuma Vihari, but now it's in the past. It's done. There's no point going back. What can the Indian bowlers do? Can they take advantage of defending 244? Yes, the advantage is in Australia's side. That's something that is clear, that is understandable, but it's a long way to go to even get into that situation. Let's see what happens. No one knows right now. Anything is possible in this situation. So I will be back once the Australian batters start their innings. As the Australian openers are all set to begin their innings. And how did the Australians bowl? I think they bowled decently, but India also have a boat. If Australia has a goat called Nathan Lyon, India has a boat called Ashwin,
It's
and
10
three
hours.
very good fast bowlers, perhaps even better than Australia's fast bowlers, but that's something that remains to be seen. And of course, the owners will be on Labuschagne and Smith, and somehow on some, and then of course on the all-rounders in Travis Head and Cameron Green, but they are all-rounders. That remains to be seen. And this is where we will miss Jadeja and Pant in terms of getting those extra 30, 40 runs. But remember, this is a deja vu of what happened 4 years ago when India, 2 years ago when India only made 250, yet they went on to win the match. So it all depends on how this situation progresses. But it's going to be very interesting. There was this long standing debate on how the whether a pink ball should be used. I think all matches should be day and night. It's perfect for all countries. All 4 or 5 matches scheduled in a tournament, all five of them should be day and night. Starting at 1 o'clock local time, going till 8:30, depending on 1 o'clock, or as in Australia's case, 2:30 local time, and going on till 9 a.m. local, 9 p.m. local time, as the Indian team comes in their pre-match huddle. What do they talk about? And what will they have for lunch after the match finishes? All of them looking to travel to various parts of Australia, breaking the bubble. Well, let's see. Virat Kohli giving his speech of let's take wickets in the first, let's get the openers. Their openers are not good enough. We have the runs. We've scored 240 plus. Their openers are nervous. You have a guy who has never opened before. You have another one who has been given the boot by so many individuals of he hasn't made runs. So this is an opportunity for the bowlers for the first strike. Let's see. Very interesting. Um, Australia have around 25 overs or so to survive. But I think this match could be over in 3.5 to 4 days. Expect Shami, Bumrah, to do something as the Australian openers come out. Australia forced to go with Wade because of the absence of Warner and Will Pekosvi. So the experience isn't there as far as the openers go. The only experienced individual at this point in time with more than 50 matches, with more than 30 matches is Steve Smith. So the entire batting revolves around him. Well, even Matthew Wade has played 30 plus matches. That he's in that Rohit Sharma situation. It's going to be a very interesting story. But he'll go after the bowling. If he is that aggressive kind of guy, very similar to that Rohit Sharma story, he will go after the bowling. Maybe he succeeds like Rohit Sharma. We never know. Matthew Wade could have that story which is very similar to a Sehwag or a Rohit Sharma or a Matthew Hayden or a Warner who thought they would never be good in these 5-day games. As we have Umesh Yadav, someone who is very similar to that Hazelwood kind of situation, as he gets the first over. Of course, it's a debate, it's a toss of coin. Who should get the first over? Should it be that's up to the team management? As Matthew Wade gets ready against a very good bowler in Umesh Yadav. First ball, nicely bowled. Of course, the statistics floating around is that this guy Matthew Wade is opening for the first time in the 4-day matches. Well, that was the case with Rohit Sharma, Sehwag, Warner, Hayden, and now we all give them this GOAT praise as Umesh bowls to Wade, who lets the ball go. So it doesn't surprise me. It's an experiment, as they experimented with Rohit Sharma a year ago, and that worked. So this may also work. And this one leaves the batter and goes away. So three good balls, good swing, as we get ready. Fourth ball. This time, once again, beats the batter. An excellent start by the Indian bowlers. Four balls, zero runs. As he goes fetching for the ball, trying to get some runs into his kitty. And it was a bit of luck for the Australian bowlers that they got the edge, and the Indian fast bowlers so far have not got the edge. Let's get cracking. Once again, a wide delivery, he lets it go. Five balls without much fuss for the batter. As we get ready for the final ball of the first over, lets it go. It's 0 for 0. As we get ready for the second over with Joe Burns on strike. Burns, another good batter, but in this situation, the it's in the favor of the bowlers as Bumrah gets ready to bowl to Burns. First ball, nicely bowled. As Bumrah bowls to Burns, once again lets it go outside the off stump, nothing to worry about. As we get ready for the third ball of this over, beats the bat, 9 balls, no runs. Completely bamboozles the batter. Brilliantly bowled. As we get ready for the fourth ball of the second over, this time once again plays it away. As the fifth ball of the second over, this time straight to the fielder and nicely bowled so far. Maybe what they can do is they can surprise people by bowling, by opening the bowling with Ashwin. I would have gone with that. Give it a try. Do something out of the blue. Open with Ashwin. But then that never happens. First 10, 12 overs, expect the three fast bowlers to do their business as we get ready for the final ball of the second over. Ends the over, 2 overs gone, 0 for 0. Australia, after 2 overs, are 0 for 0. What can the bowlers do to have an impact in this match so far? So far, nothing has happened, but only 2 overs, enough to give an impression of what will happen. The strangest part in all of this is that if Australia gets an edge and it doesn't go to the fielder, it's luck. As Umesh Yadav bowls to Matthew Wade, once again misses. And then the debate will be the Australian bowlers bowl better than the Indian bowlers, whereas on in that context, both the groups are same. All the six individuals, all the eight individuals are same. I don't. They may say that Lion is better than Ashwin, but I will say that Ashwin is slightly more talented and skilled than Lion. If our 9, 10, 11 couldn't do anything, then don't expect their 9, 10, 11 to do something. As this time plays it away straight to the fielder. As we get ready for the third ball of the third over, this time plays it away and 15 balls,
It's
0
10
runs.
15.
15 balls, 0 runs so far. As we get ready. So 16 balls, 0 runs, a nervous opening pair. And if this was Warner or any other guy, they would have at least tried to attack. But these are two nervy batters, probably on their last lap of their career. That is what is floating around. Let's see what happens. This time plays it away. 2.5 overs, 0 runs, 0 wickets. As we get ready for the final ball of the third over, plays it away, no runs, ends the over, it's 0 for 0. I'm reading these comments, and there is a strange kind of praise for the Australian batters, as if everything they do is perfect. They're leaving the ball, they're not getting flustered by 3 overs where the Indian bowlers are bowling nicely, but then they're Australia. They will be praised for Australia, no matter. Even if they're 20 for 5, you still think that the number 7, 8, 9, and 10 can surprise us. And if Steve Smith comes at 20 for 2, doesn't matter. He is Steve Smith. He can do anything. And this kind of double standard is what irks me as we get ready for the fourth ball. Edged and drop and falls short of gully. Totally squared the batter up. And of course, let's get into this situation. Did the Kohli run out change the course of the match? Yes and no. Was it a miscommunication between Rahane and Kohli? Yes and no. So let's see. So just because he's letting the balls go, it doesn't mean that he's batting nicely. Means he is nervous to score. He doesn't want to edge, which will happen. Did the Australian bowlers bowl well? Yes, of course. But there's a long way to go. Is this match in the danger of getting over by day after tomorrow on Sunday? Well, we'll find out soon. As Bumrah bowls to Joe Burns, who plays it away as Australia are nervous and they're not getting those runs. And if this was the other situation, India was 0 for 0, and this was Shaw and Agarwal, it would have been like, wow, such poor batting. But it's Australia, they can't do anything wrong. They are this perfect team, despite having two individuals who are nervous, who have been perceived as nervous. As Joe Burns gets ready, as he lets another ball go outside the off stump. So 3.4 overs, 0 for 0. As a short gully has been brought in for that edge which goes flying. Another ball, the batter lets go. 3.5 overs, 0 for 0. Another ball, the batter lets go. 4 overs gone, 0 for 0. As we get ready for the fifth over, so for 26 balls, and the Australian openers have looked uncomfortable. They have no idea what's going on and they're looking clueless. Umesh Yadav bowls. This time Wade gets a ball which he will gladly smash it towards the boundary. So the first runs after nearly 5 overs, sees the length and says, "Thank you so much." It was a good delivery, but Wade was already on the back foot and clears that vacant deep point region for a decent shot, a nervous looking shot. Well, but a good enough shot to get his confidence on the rise. This time plays it away and the runs beginning to come. As we get ready for the final ball of the fifth over, Yadav to Burns, who plays it away, misses everything, ends the over, 5 gone, 5 for 0. So far, good bowling by the Indian team and decent but nervous batting by the Australian team. But if you read comments, you will say that Australia started well. Why? Because they did not lose a wicket. They have survived the first 5 overs, and if they can get to that lunch 30 for 0 or 30-35 for 0, that's a session that goes in favor of the home team. I will not agree with that because there's still the GOAT, there's still Shami, and there's, of course, the three-quarter bowler Hanuma Vihari. As Bumrah gets ready to bowl his third over, who plays it away and they take a single. So the confidence now coming back after surviving the first 5 overs. This time Burns flicks it away towards the fielder and they come back for 2 runs. And he gets off the mark after 14 balls. As we get ready for the third ball of the fifth over, who lets it go? So 5.5 overs, 8 runs, 0 wickets. As Bumrah bowls to Burns, who lets it go. as we get ready for the fifth ball of, and this time is that that's an appeal. It's probably hit him on the helmet or the glove, and that's what they are debating, and they have decided to let it go. But it was a good bouncer. It had the batter in all kinds of tangle, and it probably missed his glove. It was a good bouncer. He was on the back foot, and it just whizzed past off his chest. A good bouncer, a very good bouncer. It just goes past his helmet. And there was a muted appeal to put the umpire under pressure, but we know the umpires not these days are not flustered by these situations. As he bowls, he lets the ball go. 6 overs gone, it's 8 for 0. The surprising part is Matthew Wade hits one shot after 20 balls, and everybody is excited as if he's hit 100 runs. But then there is some kind of strange love for for Australia or South Africa. Even if India had made 500, I would have still said Australia in a good position. As he comes round a wicket and Wade lets the ball go. India were also batting like this, and yet nobody objected. And now they're showing flashback of this Meghra Tendulkar when Tendulkar was given a horrible LBW decision, and it happened 21 years ago. Let it go. That 99 2002 had the worst Indian team ever, despite having Lakshman Ganguly, Tendulkar Dravid in the same team. The other seven were, this time Wade plays it away, but on the bounce to the fielder. I don't know why do we keep going to that 99 tour. That was something that should be forgotten. That should be, even the footage should be burnt. That's the worst tour ever. So I don't even want to talk about that. The worst Indian team ever to play. As Umesh Yadav bowls to Wade, straight to the fielder, no runs. That team had no batters. You had those four, but they were also fringe players. Yeah, 20 years ago, 99, 2000, had India made 240, you would have said the Australian India never had a bowling lineup to counter that 240 runs. But now they have a bowlers to counter even if they make 250. Remember in a match against Johannesburg match where India won that match after making 190 when they had a lead? I think there's a chance here now also. There's Mohammad Siraj waiting, Navdeep Saini, Ishant Sharma, Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, they're all waiting to bowl. Even I would have even gone with Natarajan. I don't. It doesn't matter to me if you are a 20-over bowler of five. If you can bowl in test matches and one days and 20 overs. As long as you can bowl as much as you want. For me, for bowlers, there is no distinction between 50 overs, 20 overs test matches. Maybe between batters, but not between bowlers. Seven gone, 8 for 0. Bumrah gets ready to bowl to Joe Burns. So another 60 minutes left, 55 minutes left in this match to be precise. Another 12, 11, 12 overs, and I would immediately, after giving 3 or 4 overs each to the opening bowlers, I would bring on Shami and Ashwin. I think Ashwin is boat if Nathan Lyon is goat. Bumrah to Burns as they take a quick single, and it's a risky single, and they survive. It was a poorly taken single, but nevertheless they got the runs. As they get ready for huge appeal, and the umpire says not out. And not out, says the umpire. It's probably going over the stumps. But it put the batter weight in a tangle, coming round the wicket, shaping the ball in, but it hit him high on his thigh pad, so it was always going over the stumps. And he's coming round the wicket, so you expect the ball to shape back in into the left-hander. As Bumrah gets ready to bowl the third ball of the seventh over, once again Wade flicks it away gingerly, and the single taken. Of course, there's so much praise around this guy, but let's see what happens. He's what they call a fighter. We'll know for sure very soon. 'As the fourth ball of the eighth over, and he lets the ball go. Good speeds of bowling at 144 kilometers per hour. — 7.4 overs, 11 for 0. This time straight to the fielder, no runs. Wow, that is strange. Drinks after just 7.5, 7.5. There is a scheduled drinks break. This is what irritates me about this sport more than any other sport. This habitual thing to have ads in between when the match is happening, and the 30-second ads look like 1 minute, 2 minutes. So the underlying discussion is, has India bowled well so far? Of course, if you don't get the wickets, you haven't bowled well. That's as simple as that. As Wade tries to pull, poor shot, but Luckily, it doesn't go to the fielder. If you haven't taken a wicket, it doesn't matter how you bowl. If Australia were 10 for 2, yes, you have bowled well. If the wickets haven't come, Australia are the team in the pole position in a better position because they are doing exactly what needs to be done. So this is a deja vu as he lets the ball go. I think they have bowled well, but then as long if you don't get a wicket, it doesn't matter. That's the whole thing. So I would definitely try Ashwin, try something new. Of course, the Ashwin Lion debate goes on for so long. How Lion bowls a simple action, Ashwin's complicated action, his complicated deliveries, his variations as he bowls a bit of bounce straight to the fielder, 8.4 overs, 10 for 0. But the runs are immaterial at this point in time. It's about the fact that India has not picked up a wicket. India lost 4 wickets for 11 runs in morning, but then you had number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was always going to happen. You didn't have Rishabh Pant batting. The boat got out early. Ashwin as a good bouncer, but he lets it go. And this was what people were. This is how Wade went about in against New Zealand and the Ashes. He took a lot of body blows. It hits him on the arm. I suppose there's no concussion for the arm. And he defends, ends the over, 9 gone, 10 for 0. And Mohammad Shami gets a couple of overs before we go into the scheduled dinner break. Remember, this is a different story. It's a dinner break at 4:30 p.m. Australian time. And at 11:30 a.m. Indian time, you could call it a tea break. As we get ready, and Shami too burns, and immediately full length, well bowled. Shami gets into the record books as he plays in his 50th match. Very few Indian fast bowlers, only 3 Indian fast bowlers have played 50 matches. In fact, 4. But Zahir, up to some extent, Javagal Srinath, Shami, and, well, of course, Kapil Dev. Immediately, full delivery flicked away by the batter, and they will get 2 runs without any hesitation. As the third ball of the 10th over, Shami bowls and a full delivery nicely played away. Shami bowls to Burns, who defends, but he looks in trouble because if he misses, that's an LBW.
It's 10:45.
As we get ready, who defends and straight to the fielder. As we get ready, Shami bowls the final ball of his first over, flicked away straight to the fielder, 10 gone, 12 for 0. As we get ready for another over, well, it can get a little boring because there are periods when you could go off to sleep, but that's how this has been defined for the past 150 years. As Umesh bowls to Wade, who plays it away quietly. Now, when India was playing slowly, everybody was questioning the attitude of the Indian batters when they were making 10 of 100 balls. But when it's Australia, no. So that's the hypocrisy of the situation. This time he plays it away to point and looks to be in control of this match so far. This time plays it away but straight to the fielder. As Umesh gets ready for the fifth ball of his over, a good bouncer, but he lets it go. The final ball of the 11th over, as Australia looked in all sorts of trouble. This time plays it away. 11 overs gone. It's 13 for 0. As Shami gets ready for the first ball of the 12th over. So the question is, where is the boat? If Nathan Lyon is the goat, then Ashwin is the boat. As Shami bowls to Wade, who lets it go outside the off stump, nothing troubling him. He knows he has a lot of time on his hands, but there will be a time when he will want to slash hard. So let's see how long can he preserve his aggressive demeanor. He's done that for nearly 1 hour. Oh yeah, he's done that for 1 hour. Can he do that for the next 35 minutes? Because if Australia don't lose a wicket, then by default, we're going to say Australia are in a better position because India lost 4 wickets for 11 runs. They could have scored more, but then we had numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, out of which there was the boat and then three tail enders in Saha, Umesh, Bumrah, and Shami. Four tail enders in Saha. So India basically had seven batters, two all rounders in Vihari and Ashwin, along with five tail enders in Saha and the three fast bowlers. As Shami bowls, Wade defends once again a good bouncer and lets it go. And this is where someone like Rishabh Pant, Jadeja would have been so useful. But that's in the past. The team has been selected. What's done is done. Shami bowls to who edged away straight to Gully, no runs. Let's get ready. This time Wade cuts, and that's nicely fielded by the fielder at point. 12 gone, it's 14 for 0. So Bumrah back into the attack. This time plays it away, no runs. Australia have a slight advantage because the majority of the Australian team, maybe except Smith and Labuschagne, played the bowlers in those practice matches. And the question is, who does the practice match benefit? Does it benefit the fringe players who may get a chance to play in the actual match because the established players are injured? Or does it benefit the touring team who get a chance to play some kind of professional match which is slightly better than the net session that we all like? Because I have never been a fan of net sessions. It doesn't impress me. But we are back in the real environment, so let's enjoy this match. Yes, India had not scored too many runs, but anything is possible. We may see a wicket in the next 2 to 3 overs. Another bouncer, he lets it go. Maybe it's time to give a chance to the boat, Ashwin. As we get ready for the fourth ball of the 13th over, India batting even worse than how Australia are batting, even slower than how India batted. And we criticize India for batting slow and for Pujara playing the way he did, but making no runs for overs after overs. What has Australia done compared to this? I'm going to criticize Australia for batting like this. Either score a run or get out. What are you trying to prove right now? Who are you trying to build the innings for? No one. This time, bouncer once again on his elbow, reminiscent of how Wade and Wagner went about in that Test series 12 months ago. As we get ready for the last ball, 13 gone, poorly played, it's 14 for 0. The headline goes steady against disciplined bowling, but the term discipline is more of a mockery than an appreciation. Why? Because the the opposition team hasn't lost a wicket. As Shami bowls, once again beats the batter. Good bouncer, it just goes past the glove. Good bouncer. Discipline is not a term of appreciation, it's a term of mockery. Not even criticism, but a term of mockery. Why? Because after 1 hour, they have scored 1 run per over, but it's 14 for 0.
It's
That's
11
the
hours.
most important thing. It's not about runs. You can score at you could there could have been 0 runs in 13 overs, but it's all about one as Shami bowls a full delivery, a bit of an appeal for LBW, but bat first. Hit bat first. Could they have gone for the appeal? But the keeper was not confident. So another good bouncer. Ample time to duck under it, but a very good bouncer. Another full delivery, but he lets it go. After 80 balls, nothing is happening. It's all quiet, and that's the way it is, as they often call it. Old fashioned, boring, edged, and it goes past the fielder, and finally, some runs for the batters, and they come back for 2 runs. Some kind of aggression showed by the batter. He went for the wide delivery, got the edge, passed point, and then got back for 2 runs. So 14, 13.5 overs, 16 for 0. 7 of 33. Yeah, that's Australia's style of batting. As we get ready, a good bouncer, but no short leg, ends the over, 14 gone, 16 for 0. There's an appeal for LBW, and I think he's gone. He's gone. I think there's a huge appeal for LBW. India have gone for the review system, DRS, no bat involved, probably hitting on the knee roll. Maybe he's coming round the wicket to the left hander, and he caught him plumb on the crease, and it's hitting. Oh, it's umpire's call. That is so bad for That is so lucky for Australia. That is, he's gone. India have got the wicket. So after 14 overs, the ball coming in, and Matthew Wade's dogged resistance, 8 of 51, nothing better than what a certain individual did, has gone. Matthew Wade has departed, and a huge wicket in the context of the match. This will bring in Labuschagne and a chance for India to get some parity. I think it's a 50-50 session till now. India did lose 4 wickets, but Australia never got the aggression going. They will miss Warner in these situations, and who else but Bumrah to get the wicket. He struggled, Matthew Wade, and comes, I think, the last of the two recognized batters, Labuschagne. A decent record so far for him, but the runs he scored came against a mediocre bowling attack of Pakistan and a decent bowling attack of England. But this is a much more lethal bowling attack. Of course, he's averaging 64 in a matter of 15 matches with, well, 400s, 850s, not surprised by it at all. But it's going to be a test, just as it was, as it, I think, these two are the guys, are along with Labuschagne and Smith, who will have to do something. But we got the wicket, 14 overs. We thought what was happening? Nothing was happening. The batter missed, and umpire's call went in favor of the bowling team. They retained the review, of course. There are 3 reviews per team, which I think is a very good decision. Finally, because of circumstances, as he bowls to Labuschagne, who lets it go in his own unique style, who is known to copy Smith in his stance and whatnot. So for 1500 runs, average of 64, a decent record, but a long way to go for him. 15 matches is not enough to get any kind of thing. This tournament will seal his legacy or unseal whatever he has done so far. As Bumrah bowls 2 individuals in their 15th matches. So yeah, that's a good test. And was that a drop? And who has dropped the ball? Probably the keeper. It was a good full delivery. Labuschagne was totally squared up, and it goes between the keeper and the slip. And this is where once again we miss a certain Rishabh Pant. A very good delivery, a lucky boundary, because had this wicket been taken, it could have been all over for Australia, because the number 5, 6, 7 are fringe players. As Bumrah bowls, Labuschagne lets it go. A very good delivery, but 4 nevertheless. As we get ready for the final ball of the 15th over, Lets it go, 15 gone, it's 1 for 20. Australia in trouble at 1 for 20. As Shami gets ready to bowl to Burns, and a single taken, and Labuskania gets on strike. It was umpire's call on hitting the stumps. But why umpire's call when it's hitting the stumps? They saved a review. That's lucky. And when Brahane got out, that was hitting the stumps. So this thing does baffle me. It really does put me in a bind that what is umpire's call and what is hitting the stumps, and how do you get to that thing of losing the review? How does the graphic decide whether it's umpire's call or hitting the stumps? It's out, it's out, it's not out. Then if it's a horrendous decision, then it's lose the review or regain the review. Good bouncer by Shami to Labuskania. As I said, as we know, the debate has been that the edges have been falling short of the fielders, and there has been no bounce and carry. It was a very good bouncer by Shami the previous ball, and Labuskani had no idea where the ball was going. And now a bit of excitement begins. 20 years ago, India wouldn't have defended 240. But now they can defend 240 as he lets the ball go. 15 and a half overs. So let's talk about all this debate on carry to the slips. Well, if it carries to the slips, it carries to the slips. If it doesn't carry, it you could call it a good effort by Saha, but it was still a poor effort. He could have come ahead. They know that it's not carrying, they can come further ahead because the bowlers are bowling around 145 as Shami bowls to Labuskania, who gets an edge, and once again it beats the fielder. The fast pace will take it away, but it's nicely defended by Mayank Agarwal, and they get 3 runs without any fuss. So Labuskania looking a little edgy right now. That's a boundary, in fact, because his knee touched the rope as his hand was getting the ball back. And I think I think he, I think that's a boundary because his fingertips were touching the ball. It was a brilliant effort, but it's a matter of margins in this particular sport. So that's a boundary, and Labushane has been lucky in the last 10 minutes to get a few edges going. And now another boundary. So Labush Kanya has got the aggression going in the Australian team, and his third boundary, and he gets it past the keeper on the pads. Of course, I'm reading there is ample praise for Matthew Wade. Well, I'll even praise Mang Agarwal
It's
for scoring
11:15.
17 of 40. I'll praise him also then. That's as simple as it gets. As we get ready, that's played away. 16 gone. It's 1 for 29. As we get ready for the 17th over, Bumrah bowling well. I think India has bowled well and Australia have struggled. Yes, Labuschagne has scored 12, 15 runs in the last 2 overs, but I still think India are in a better position because Burns hasn't got going. He looks underconfident. Matthew Wade struggled even if he survived for 50 balls. That's more than 80% of what he was supposed to do. And that's played away straight to gully. As I said, it's all going to be in that same zone. As Bumrah bowls to Labuschagne, who lets the ball go to Burns, in fact. Still 12 minutes to go before we break in for dinner break. And I think I would give 60 to India and 40 to Australia. Yes, Australia got 4 wickets and not many runs were scored as Burns plays straight to the fielder, trying the leg glance, but straight to the leg gully. Can they use Ashwin for a couple of overs? Give him a shot against Burns, who is struggling, of course. I still think someone like Mayank Agarwal scored better than Burns. As we get ready for the fourth ball of the 17th over. Well, he's 8 of 38, but he's struggling. No, with zero confidence. As Bumrah bowls another bouncer, and he struggles to get under it. As we almost come to the end of the 17th over with 12 more minutes to go before the lunch break, 10 more minutes. The final ball of the 17th over, and Burns is still struggling. Flicked away, huge appeal for help, and he's gone. A sec, he's been given out, and India have got 2 wickets. And Burns, who was struggling, he has decided not to. He had taken the review, but is it going down leg? That will be the case. It was a fast sailing Yorker. The umpire said, "Thank you so much, but you need to depart, Mr. Batter." Is there bat involved? No, it's hit him right on the toe. But is it going down leg? That will be the question. But the leg stump is not visible. I think Burns is gone here. No bat involved. The hotspot says no bat. The bat hit the ground. The ball hit the toe. It hits flush on the lower part of the pads, and I think he could be gone here. Or it could be umpire's call once again, or you think it's going down the leg side. Let's see what happens. Any of those things are possible. Well, there is definitely no bat. So why are we fast forwarding and rewinding those things? There is no bat. As the ball tracking gets ready, it was a brilliant Yorker, completely bamboozled the batter. In swinging Yorker, as I said, 245 can be defended as far as the and it's umpire's call once again, and both the openers have departed. The batman, the it was it could have been called and missing. So the umpire says, "Thank you so much, Joe Burns, who fails." India are in a very good position at it's all up to Labuskania, and it was going down leg, but Australia are in trouble. If India were in trouble at 30 for 2, and it was all up to Labuskania and Smith, and now If they get one of the ooh that hit him hard on the chest area, if they can get one of these two out, I think India are in a better position. As he lets the ball go, 17 and a half overs, 2 for 29. 17.4 overs, 30 for 2, and the debate will continue on Burns' decision of going down leg. But the graphics decided that they will stick with the umpire because he was coming over the wicket, sliding the ball into. You can see the reaction that it was a marginal decision by on both sides. But the review is retained, and Burns' struggling innings, though a few articles are saying dogged resistance, I still think Mayank Agarwal batted better than Joe Burns. So yes, struggling innings comes to an end as we get ready for the final fifth ball of the 17 overs. Smith plays it away, gets off the mark immediately. As Shami bowls to Labuskania, who gets a top edge, and it has been dropped. Well, it was a difficult catch for Bumrah, so I won't blame him for that. It was a good bouncer. The batter had no control of the shot, and it was a good effort by Bumrah, but it evaded him, and it goes to the boundary for 4. Well, the context is that it was Labuskania. So, yeah, that dropped catch will get into the controversial zone. It was a good effort by Bumrah. Yes, the ball popped out, but I wouldn't call it a drop catch. As we come to the last over of before the dinner break, as Bumrah will be bowling to Smith, can he make amends by picking up a wicket? But Smith lets it go, and all the 4 shots of Labuschagne have come through risky shots, but he's got 4 boundaries, so that's good enough. But I think a session in which neither of the teams are in a good position. 18.2 overs, India were 30 for 2, Australia are 30 for 2. When India batted first, all the onus is on now number 3 and number 4, as it was when they batted. So it's a 50-50 situation.
It's
No team
11:30.
is in a better situation as he Completely squares Smith up. Beautiful delivery. So the final three balls before the dinner slash lunch break, and Smith lets it go outside the off stump as he shuffles across. As we get ready for the fifth ball of the 19th over. As we get ready for the fifth ball of the 19th over, and they have decided, well, let's get ready for the fifth ball of the 19th over. This time Smith plays no runs, struggling to score runs. Final ball before the lunch dinner break. Good bouncer, and 19 gone, 2 for 35. So a session that is 50-50. No team is in a good position as of now. 6 wickets falling for 40 plus runs. And Australia haven't taken the advantage because they lost both their openers, who were completely clueless against a very good bowling attack. And it's up to number three and number four, as it was up to India's number three and number four to do the job. So how long can they do it? That remains to be seen. Is it a shared session? Let's do that. Let's give it 50-50. Let's do that. So that ends tonight's commentary. I will be seeing you very soon. Good night.